It's a fact. Rolling along here on this Tuesday. This hour brought to you by Laborers Local 663. Get back to the basketball talk in a minute. Pre-game coming up at 6 with the game tonight against North Carolina. But, man, we got to talk a little lax. We're only a week and a half into the season. Somehow they're 3-0 already. That math doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense, but it has been a dominating start to the season for the Orange men's lacrosse team. 3 wins, all in blowout fashion. And my goodness, there is a game coming up in the Dome this Saturday. 2 top 5 teams, Cuse and Maryland, Saturday night at 6 o'clock in the Dome. With that, we bring on Orange starting goalie Will Mark. Well, this has been a busy week and a half for you guys. What was it like cramming 3 games into the season already so far?
I know we definitely started the season off with a bang, like you said, with 3 games right from the get-go. But our coaches had an idea in mind when they did that. If we want to play on Memorial Day weekend, it's going to be a game on Saturday, a game on Monday. So starting out the season, how we want to finish the season was what our coaches had in mind. And then, obviously just working on, preparing in short time. We have a couple other games, where we don't get a full week to prepare. So just obviously, working on the stuff we need to do in a shorter amount of time. And, obviously we came out successful. So now we're on to the next one.
Yeah, won all 3 that you played so far. None of them particularly close, so you got it humming going on this season. And you mentioned it, Will, and I think it almost goes without saying, but I do enjoy that you guys always say it every year. We get it that Syracuse hasn't won a title here in a minute. The goal has never changed, right? You guys never back away from that goal when you put on the Syracuse uniform.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, there's so much history in this program, and as a player on the team, there's a lot of pressure. But then again, pressure creates diamonds, and I couldn't be more grateful to be in the position I am. And we're just working every day, taking that next step to get us back to that goal of a dominant program, and obviously the NCAA Division I.
Will Mark, Orange starting lacrosse goalie, is with us, getting ready later this week for the big game against Maryland on Saturday night. Will, I guess the good news so far this season is we haven't had to talk about you all that much because, I mean, the offense is humming. You look at Mason Cohn, he's winning faceoffs. They've got the ball the whole time. What's it been like at the defensive end of the field? I feel like it's been a bit more relaxing than maybe at this point last year.
No, it has been. Yeah, I was joking with my father the other day. It's been nice to kind of take a back seat a little bit and just work on my craft and all that stuff. But obviously we're the defense isn't getting the attention as the offense. And that means absolutely nothing to us. We're just working every day to get a little bit better. Now we're focusing on the next team we play, which is Maryland. Chopping down film. Working out all the kinks that we know can take us to a W that weekend. So, like I said, it's a little nice for me being out of the spotlight a little bit, and I just get to work on my craft and be with the guys, and get better every day.
Yeah, I feel like at this point last year, Willie, it's like, transferring to goalie, let's see what this guy's all about. And it's like, my goodness, he's made a lot of saves early in the season. And you mentioned it this week against Maryland. Like, we all know the deal. You're going to have to do a little bit more work this week in this game. How do you lock in and get sharp for a game like this, knowing that the test is certainly going to change this week?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the benefits about being so old and a 5th year now is I've seen every single shot possible. I've made hundreds of saves now. And so at the end of the day, it's just me falling back on my training, taking a deep breath, being supportive to the guys, and, making sure they know at the end of the day, like, I'll be there having their back. So it's just, like I said, one of the benefits of, being one of those older guys, have been through the ringer a little bit. And falling back on my training. This isn't something, I had the opportunity to play at Maryland last year. I played in some big games. So this isn't something I'm too nervous about. So I'm just excited to get on the field and, in front of the crowd and, make some noise.
Yeah, you played essentially all these same big-time teams last year as you're going to deal with again this year, and it starts Saturday with Maryland. Tell us about the defense this year, Will, because, last year you were playing for Petro as the defensive coordinator. This year, John O'Derna is in, the former Manhattan head coach, so just knocked off his old team last week. What has the transition been like on defense going from Petro to John for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky enough to have experienced 2 just awesome defensive minds, especially throughout my 2 years. And I think the biggest thing is obviously taking the stuff we learned last year and then incorporating into Coach O's defense. He really prides himself on giving the defenders, giving the defense the tools, and letting us play. And I think we're kind of seeing that this year. We're working as a unit, and like he does a great job of giving us a voice. Our defensive meetings are a lot of conversation, and kind of working through different aspects. So it's just been awesome, working with him, a younger defensive mind, and trying to get better and making sure we can do our part to allow the offense to score the goals that they're scoring.
And my goodness, are they scoring them at this point of the season? And I want to get your thoughts on that in a second. But, for you on defense, like the obvious part of being goalie is stopping the ball. The part that I don't think gets talked about nearly enough is literally the talking, like your job of keeping the guys in front of you organized and communicating properly. How has the communication been with you and the guys in front of you thus far this year?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I'm fortunate enough to have so many intelligent guys in front of me. So making sure just I'm saying the things that they need, throughout the 60 seconds, 70 seconds that we're playing defense. The key for me is not being over the top. There's a lot of conversation going on in the field. Obviously, when we're playing in the dome, it's super loud. So making sure what I'm saying is important. It's the key words, and it's exactly what they need at that moment to play to the best of our abilities. So it's a constant conversation between me and the defensive guys. Like I said, making sure I'm saying the right things at the right time, not being over the top, and not saying enough where we can't play as efficiently as we want to. So just finding that happy medium and allowing them to do their job, because they're awesome and they're amazing, and like I said, they're extremely intelligent. So I'm not the one out there, like I'm not the one making the fixes. They know better than me, but at the end of the day, I'm in there and then doing everything I can to make sure they're in the right spots to make a play.
Will Mark is with us. He's the Orange Lacrosse starting goalie, Houston, Maryland, this Saturday evening at 6 o'clock in the Dome. And, Will, we've seen a lot of the guys in front of you before. Like, we've seen Sam Alexo play a lot of lacrosse. Billy Dwan got in the mix last year as a freshman. Caden Cole's been around the block a few times. Riley Figueres came in last year as a freshman and got that number 11, which means something around here, plopped on him, and then unfortunately got hurt right before the season and was lost for the year. Now he's back right in the starting lineup. What is Riley for you guys out there on defense?
Yeah, I mean, I almost look up to him a little bit because, like you said, he has that number and he has that pressure of having the number 11, and he didn't have the opportunity to kind of show his stuff last year. So just seeing him, how hard he worked during his recovery, how seriously he takes the position, how intelligent he is about the defense and about his individual position, and I just cannot wait for him to keep proving himself day in and day out. Keep helping us as a team and, helping the defense, make the stop. So, like I said, we can get the ball to our electrifying offense. But he's just, it's been a tough journey for him. And, I just couldn't be more excited to watch him play and be out there with, such a special kid.
Yeah, it's become a great lineage with that number. I mean, it's going back almost 20 years now since it really became a thing with Steve Panarelli and Joel White, and here it is with Riley having inherited it this year. You mentioned getting the ball to the electrifying offense. Two of the new guys to the roster this year, the two Princeton guys that came in, Jake Stevens and Sam English, they know how to get from one end of the field to the other. What kind of weapon is that? You're looking to distribute the ball as a goalie. What do you see when you have them as an option to get it up the field?
Yeah, there's sometimes when you're playing where you just know, someone's automatic. You know what I mean? Whether that's picking up a ground ball, catching a pass, running by someone, and both those guys, I'm just confident are automatic every time. I trust them so much getting them the ball, running up the field. And again, they've been around the block a couple of times. They have so much experience coming from Princeton, and so much knowledge. So, like I said, I'm doing everything I can to do my job so that I can get those guys the ball and they can do their job. So, yeah, it's just two great additions to our team that fit in perfectly with the guys and obviously the team and the offense.
All right, well, so your game last Friday, it started at 4. So our show starts at 4. I had the game up on the screen. We're doing our thing. I'm looking back and forth, trying to keep track of what's going on. And literally before I realized the game has started, I look up. I'm like, how is it 2-0? The game hasn't started yet. How is it 2-0 already? Like, what is going on here? Well, what is it like for you other end of the field to look down and see what that offense is doing right now?
Yeah, it's special. It's sometimes where I'll look away too, and I'll lose the ball because they're moving it so fast. So it's just awesome seeing all the hard work that those guys put in, everything that Coach March does with them, and seeing it play out on the field. It's just really awesome. And then it puts a little pressure on me and the defense too. If they're doing their job, we gotta match it. So just making sure we're always staying dialed, no matter the ups and downs, and we're level headed and just ready to go. Like I said, stop and clear and get those guys the ball. That's all we have in our mind.
All right, Maryland is the opponent this weekend. I think we know this. We're going on about a decade now here, Will, of like you basically at some point got to go through these guys if you want to consider yourself a national championship contender or need to beat them at some point in the playoffs. So what do you expect this matchup to be like on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean they're always an awesome team, extremely competitive. But at the end of the day, they got guys and we got guys, and so we're just doing everything we can to prepare ourselves and go in there 110% ready to go. And it's just such an exciting matchup. Obviously the rankings came out, a top 10 matchup. I can't wait to play at home in front of this crowd and, show everyone, what we've been working on and, what we can do. Like you said, our first 3 games are obviously, awesome wins, but we haven't truly been tested yet. And this is our first big test. And, I can't wait to get out there.
All right, 2 more quick ones before we let you go, Will. You obviously have to deal with this sometimes in practice. How hard is it to stop a Joey Spallina shot?
He's gotten, I was complimenting him the other day just because, he's improved so much since, when we started out, last year. And he's the hardest working kid I know. And, he's going to continue to get better. And through that, he's making me better. And so it's just special to, be able to practice every day with people like that, they can test me, I can test them, and through that we're just going to get each other better. But he's just every day he's improving. We shoot after practice. Like I said, we're just constantly testing each other and just trying to improve day by day.
All right, and perhaps the most important question here, I say for last, Will. I've been tracking this in pictures and video and stuff over the last few months. Your coach has got a little flow going on. What's going on with Gary's hair? Like, is he growing it out? Like, it's a new look. I'm kind of digging it, but I don't know what's going on here with Gary. What's up with this?
I couldn't tell you. I think he looks good, though. I think he's absolutely killing it. The slick back look suits him well.
I don't know about you, Will. I'm rooting for him to grow it out like until the playoffs and like no haircuts. Like let's get wild by May, right? Let's keep this interesting.
Might as well. I think the flow's a little bit of a lacrosse look, anyway, so it's perfect.
All right, there we are. The hard-hitting questions, Will. We asked them here. All right, man. Thanks for hopping on for a few. It's been a blast to watch here the first few weeks. It gets real on Saturday. We'll be watching, but good luck this week.
I appreciate it, Brian. It was good talking to you as well.
All right, there goes Will Mark, the All-American Orange lacrosse goalie. Well, they're going to have their hands full. Everyone's going to have their hands full on Saturday. Maryland's good. Syracuse is good. It's going to be a good game in the Dome Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Cuse and the Terps. Cuse basketball and lacrosse will be going simultaneously on Saturday. You're going to have to multiple screens and monitors and radios. We're going to have this covered from every possible angle to figure out all of our options on Saturday night. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will get into a little 411. We'll get Tim in here for the 411 in the 315. That's what we call that thing. We'll do that next. It's Q Sports Talk and ESPN Radio.